Steve here with another baseball video, tabletop baseball video. This time the topic is hit and run in baseball sims. To be frank, this is a topic I never spent much time focusing on in the past, but I had a friend who helps me with creating teams in the vintage game long ball, and he noticed that there was no hit and run chart in long ball, and so he asked me, for some help in putting one together. If you're interested in long ball, I actually have a couple of other videos that talk about long ball. It's an interesting game. It basically would be considered a combination of Strat Basic and APA. The Strat part is that it's a 50-50 game, and the APA part is that it has the play result boards for the various 8 on-base situations, and there's 50 potential result numbers, whereas in APA, I think there's maybe something like 42 or 45 or something like that. So anyway, before we go much further, I will mention that I'll put in the description some links to some articles on hit and run. If you want to contact me, my information is here on the slide. I will put these slides or this slide deck on my Google Drive and give you access if you request it. Please comment. That's how we all learn, and that lets me know that you're interested in what I do. You can like and subscribe if that's something you would like to do. So hit and run, pros and cons. These are pretty obvious. You put the runner, you start the runner running as the pitch is coming in. It reduces the likelihood that there will be a double play. If there is contact made and there's a ground out or a hit, it lets the runner advance potentially farther than he would have otherwise. So oftentimes, let's say there's a man on first, you do a hit and run, he's pretty much guaranteed go to first to third. Same with a runner on second, pretty much guaranteed to score if there's a base hit. Or even a score from first on a double, for example. So, arguably there may be a few a lower number of extra base hits because the batter is mainly just trying to make contact. He may not necessarily get a good swing on the ball. This is my speculation. And I read something in one of these articles that said that the batter's batting average may be higher than normal in a hit and run situation because he's more focused on making contact. I really don't know if that's true or not. The obvious cons is if the batter does not make contact, then the runner is more or less forced to steal the base that he's running toward. And if there's 2 outs, it'll be a strike him out, throw him out situation. Similarly, if there is a line out, most likely that'll result in a double play. And even on a fly ball or potentially a short pop-up, a runner could be doubled up, couldn't get back to the base. So those are the obvious ones. To be honest, I have not used hit and run as a strategy when I play Sims. Granted, I don't play a lot. I more study the Sims. But maybe after this, I will do more hit and run. We'll see. I might as well cover this right now. I actually, for my own sim, had a formula for creating a hit and run rating. It's somewhat similar, I guess I would say, to the Strat rating, but my metric is simply, what's the batter's ability to make contact So I take at-bats minus strikeouts and divide by at-bats. And then I just made a scale. I had a three letter or three rating scale. So you can see it on the screen: poor, average, and good. Not exactly the case, but roughly less than 85% was poor and greater than 90% was good. Nothing magical about my decimal precision there. And I'm not sure, but I think these likely correlate to the strat hit and run ratings of DC and DC and B. This should say B, so I might as well change that. So that's that. So, what did I do when I went about creating this specialized hit and run chart for long ball? So, since Strat is a sim that I'm familiar with, I looked at this chart, which is a replica of the Strat basic hit and run chart, as I understand it. And I considered C to be the average rating in Strat for hit and run. I think maybe you only get to A if maybe the infield is in. I could be wrong. In any case, I looked at this chart and you can see, there's maybe a ground out with the runners advancing one base. There's a single with runners advancing two bases. And actually in A and B, there's a double with runners advancing three bases. There are a situation in every case where the batter may miss the pitch and you have to do a steal. And then there's a line out double play. So what I did is I put all this into a spreadsheet, which you kind of can see here. The point being that I took all the dice rolls from 2 to 12, the chances out of 36, and for each type of outcome, there's 5 different outcomes. I aggregated the percentage likelihood. So a third of the time the batter misses the pitch. Only 3% of the time is there a line out double play. 14% of the time there's a single, and this is all with the C rating. And then I created a lookup table based on that. But something didn't feel right about that. And so I started doing some research and I pulled up the season ticket baseball hit and run rules. And what I found was basically it's tied to the result numbers on the batter's chart, or maybe even the pitcher's chart, I guess. And so if a walk comes up, then it just assumes that the batter has fouled off the pitch and there will be 2 strikes on the batter. If it's a strikeout, then the batter has missed the ball, and then you switch to the steal attempt. And then you can see the various ground outs and double play ground outs or force outs or whatever are not happening, and they all become just the batter being thrown out at first base. And then you can see the singles and doubles result in an extra base advancement. You can see that here in the middle. And then it looks like the lineouts are turning into double plays. And then if you did roll the walk and it's 2 strikes and you do the hit and run again, it looks like if you roll a walk again, then it's similar where the batter has struck out and there's still a steal attempt. So that was kind of the strike him out, throw him out scenario that I talked about earlier. So what I liked about this is that the hit and run result is very much tied to the batter or the pitcher's actual underlying result. And so it just changes the outcome. The result is kind of the same, but it kind of changes the outcome. So then I wondered, well, are there other sims that use this? And so I looked up, oops, we don't want to see that. I looked up a game that I play and done a lot of work on called Batter Up. And sure enough, there's a hit and run chart. And for all 50 results, they have a special interpretation. So, like here, you can see the lineouts turn into double plays. Interestingly, this game allows a hit and run with runners on first or first and third. Other games only allow, if it's a runner, I believe, on first. But one of the things they did here is for the walk result, which is number 19, is it is a ball, or effectively the batter missed, and so there's a steal attempt. And if it's 20, which is typically a strikeout, it's a strike. And so again, in this case, they've got an out stealing. And there is no hit and run rating, so this is a very generic hit and run chart. Although that's okay because it's all based on either the pitcher or the batter chart, and so the people who strike out a lot will end up creating a strikeout, throw them out situation, and people who walk a lot will be an attempted steal. So in any event, don't want to dwell on Batter Up all that much. So I looked at another game which I have videos on called Grand Slam, and it was kind of the same idea. I think a 14 result here is a walk, and it's looking like those are turning into like ground outs and so on over here instead of the walk. And then 16 is a strikeout, and so you see that here. And again, that turns into some kinds of ground outs and so on with runners advancing. So I'm finding out that this idea of tying the hit and run chart to the player's actual chart or card makes a lot of sense and is actually a common situation. So from that, I said, well, instead of going to the Stratomatic chart and trying to convert that into, some kind of a lookup chart, let's try to make for long ball a specific result chart similar to what I just showed you with Batter Up, where I convert the 1 to 50 results into hit and run specific outcomes. And so what I did is 1 to 6 in long ball is usually a double, but sometimes can be a triple and sometimes can be a home run. And I just made those all doubles with the runners advancing, the full amount that's available. I left the home run result as the home run result, and then I changed all the singles to the runners advancing 2 bases. I made a lot of the ground outs, or essentially all the ground outs, as ground outs where the ball's thrown to first base with the runners advancing a base. I didn't do anything really special with the flyouts. In the case of the strikeout result, which in long ball is result 20, I made that the batter missing the pitch and a stolen base attempt required. In case of the walk, I went back to the season ticket baseball approach, and I made that the 2-strike rule. And so you just re-roll after that. And then I took some of these special results at the end and turned them into lineouts with a double play. So this may not be perfect, but I think for a simple game like long ball, it probably will work. So that's really all I wanted to convey. It's just some stuff, that I've learned along the way, and would appreciate any feedback that you guys have. This is just fresh information for me. So as usual, I would appreciate any feedback or knowledge that you would want to provide in the comments. And with that, I think we are done. Have a good day.